but I've got to be honest with you, I think I'm better as an ad-libber. My name is Cecily Levine Morris, and I'm announcing today that I am a candidate for St. Lawrence County Family Court Judge. My husband, Mark Morris, and I are lifelong residents of St. Lawrence County. We graduated from Messina High School in 1976, the bicentennial year. Our children, Michael, Emily, Leah, and Kevin, are the fourth generation of the Levine and Morris family raised in St. Lawrence County. I went to Washington and Lee University Law School, and my career as a lawyer was always going to be back here. When my friends and classmates went to big firms in big cities, I was always coming home. I started in 1985 with my father, Francis Levine, and Eugene L. Nicandri at the firm of Levine and Nicandri in Messina as an associate. That's the year that Judge Nicandri, who's here today, was elected to the St. Lawrence County Court bench. So I quickly fell into the role of an associate who learned how to do pretty much everything. And I had a calendar of municipal law on my plate on any given day. But I soon learned that family law was something I had the temperament and the ability to do. I represented children in family court, and I represented parents in all aspects of family court litigation. In 1989, Judge David Nelson, who's also here with me today, asked me to be his court attorney, and I said yes. I moved from one side of the bench to the other, but was able to continue working in an area that I loved, which was with children and families. I left private practice in 1992 to work exclusively for Judge Nelson, and following his retirement in 2001, the Honorable David Demarest became my supervising judge. He also became and remains a mentor. The lion's share of my work continues in family court. I need to say this, Judge Nelson set the bar very high when I went to work for him. His tireless commitment to children and families was what I learned. He is a natural jurist, he's a scholar of the law. He treated everyone with respect and dignity when they came in the courtroom, and he expected that everyone would do the same. Lawyers, litigants, it didn't matter. He also was the person that I learned, you better know the file better than anybody else. He had a tireless ability to read the files, know what was happening that day, and be ready for anything that might happen. Under his tutelage, we were able to develop a case management system that provided for effective and efficient disposal of cases. We tried to focus to limiting the number of times people had to come to court. We were successful in that. I conducted all his pretrial conferences, his settlement conferences, and tracked all of his cases. Carrie did a great job describing what Barb Potter means to St. Lawrence County Family Court, and I can't do it any better. From her, I learned a willingness to try new things, to look at new approaches to handling cases in family court. One of the things I'm most impressed that she did was involve herself in National Adoption Day. What a gem that is for us. It's a true celebration of children who are starting out with new families, and she was great to bring that to us. I need to say a few words about Judge Nicandri. I think I was 3 years old when he went to work with my dad. I used to ride my bike to his house after piano lessons before the piano teacher told my parents that was a waste of money. And a lot of times they would feed me. He was very different from my dad. He had a much different temperament and personality. But he taught me to be ethical in all things, to be hardworking, to really care about the people that I represented, to care about the attorneys that I worked with, and to treat the law as a profession, not a business. I don't have enough time today to tell you what he means to me, but I'm going to be brief. When my parents were involved in a car accident in 1978, and I was at the hospital in Syracuse with my dad, I came out of my dad's hospital room to him. That's the best way I can describe to you what he means to me. Back to the work at hand. The job of family court judge requires an understanding and awareness of the court as it exists now and as it has evolved over time. I don't know if you're aware of it, but the number of cases reaches the 6,000 mark in any given year, and that's in St. Lawrence County. Our numbers are up every year. Even the New York State Legislature has realized that we need and could use a second judge in St. Lawrence County, but fiscal realities are going to prevent that. In family court, we must be ever mindful of our obligation to protect children, to protect victims of domestic violence, to provide permanency for children, and to look out constantly for their best interests. I am dedicated to families and focused on positive outcomes for children and their families. I bring my focus on family to work with me every single day. My experience in family court is unmatched. Family court is what I do every day. I know family court inside and out. I've worked collectively, collaboratively, directly, indirectly with the lawyers, Department of Social Services, probation, all of these service agencies that are intertwined with family court work. They too, as well as the court system, are facing severe financial crises. I'm in the best position because I know the system to be able to work together with them to figure out solutions to this reality that we face now in our fiscal crisis, is the best way to put it. The challenge to all of us is to think creatively and to be resourceful, and the court system has asked us to do that. But we need to continue to provide effective and efficient assistance to children and families, due process to everybody who comes through our doors, and equal protection under the laws. My parents raised me to have North Country values. I have a whole list, but I think you know what they are. Their hard work, their determination, their loyalty, their accountability, integrity, respect for the dignity of others, and a belief in community. And I have an awareness that family is the fabric that holds communities together. Judges are, and they should be, held to the highest standard of conduct. And I conduct my own personal and professional life to that end. Okay, so my professional career brings me to this point today. I will continue as family court judge if I am lucky to be elected, to protect children, to look out for their best interests, to be fair and impartial in the court. And I want to be a court where families know that they can come and seek assistance to move forward in a time of discord and crisis. I know this. I can step into that role and serve with distinction. I know what the job entails, and I can do the job. I have the competence, the qualifications, and I have the desire to do the job and do it well. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the people who are most important in my life. My husband, Mark, who has a game tonight against the Binghamton Senators. Go Monarchs. My son, Michael. My brother, Mark, and his family, Allison, Jack, Tess, Ben. My aunt and uncle, Dick and Peg Levine from Augsburg. My sister, Jane. My friends, my relatives, Judge Nicandri, Judge Nelson, June and Mark. The whole Hart family who is here today, helping me out and standing up for me. Bill Murphy, who was the chief clerk. If I go on, I'm going to forget somebody, and I don't want to do that. I am so pleased that people came out today to support me. I'm humble, I'm grateful, and I'm ready to run. So thank you very much for coming.